All right, everyone, we are live on the live stream. I'd like to welcome everyone to the live stream. For those of you that are watching it live, looking forward to talking with you in the chat room. For those of you that are watching the rerun, welcome to the channel. We have an awesome guest tonight. I'm super excited about this guest. I've been a fan for this for a while now, and it's a real treat that we're going to be speaking with Alaska Prepper. Alaska Prepper covers a lot of different videos on his channel. Let me just try to bring it up over here. If you're not already subscribed to Alaska Prepper, go to the link in the description box below. It has a link to his channel. You could also go and support him over on his Patreon channel. You can even buy Alaska Prepper a coffee from Ko-Fi. But Alaska Prepper has been doing these videos for a while now and covers a wide range of topics. He has an awesome live stream of his own, which is I really enjoy watching it and just seeing how all the different topics that he's able to go through. And then he has just a ton of great videos on food storage, on pantry stuff. Just recently, we're hoping to talk about it more in this stream, where he just did a big donation during the holiday season right now with a lot of pantry preps, which is just an awesome video, which I found super inspirational. But without further ado, you should know this guy already. If you don't, you're in for a treat. So I'd like to welcome to the live stream, Alaska Prepper. Welcome to the live stream.
Hi, everyone. How you doing, Cliff? How's everyone doing today?
Yeah, we're doing good. This is fun. I'm so used to watching your live streams where you just manning the controls and doing the chat room and covering all sorts of topics. So it's cool to have like the side-by-side view now where we can talk.
Awesome, man. Thank you for having me, man. It's going to be a fun time tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be cool. I'm just going to do some quick little shout outs to people. Welcome Rose to the live stream. Welcome Michigan chicken lover. We like chicken too. So it looks like Prepper Journey is over here. Not always able to come to it, but we're happy that you're here now. Let's see. We got Prepper Nation. Awesome. Prepper Nation.
John,
thank you for being here.
John's in the house.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see. We got Mark Chase. It's a split viewing night tonight. Yes, it is. Arthur, any particular topic planned for the discussion? Yes, we have lots of topics planned for this discussion, plus topics that you want us to talk about. So I'm going to be trying to keep an eye on what's going on in the chat room for this one. We have Denise Drake already asking about the canned meat. So canned meat is one of the topics that we're hoping to go through. Let's see, who else do we have over here? Good to see Prepping Penguin. Awesome. Thank you for coming on. The Preparedness guy. Thank you. Welcome to the live stream. And even Alaska Prepper I see in the chat room already. So
I'm here.
Yeah. Where did I see? Let me scroll up and try to find that one. There we go. Alaska Prepper is talking. It's kind of like Inception.
There you go. You caught me.
Yeah, I found you there. So, well, cool. It's always weird trying to figure out how to kick these things off. I was kind of thinking, I've been a fan of your channel on. How do I say this without? I don't want to get your boost your ego too much, but you have like a really authentic way of presenting preparedness that's very welcoming to all people from all different areas. I know you have a worldwide audience, and you're kind of instantly a likable person. As soon as you start watching the videos, it just feels at home to me. I was kind of curious if you could talk a little bit about what your kind of your mission statement for the Alaska Prepper channel is, and just what your intent was going into the channel and the kind of overall vibe that you want to do with it.
Well, I realized a while back that prepping is a necessity for everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who you call your God or who you love. You need to be prepared. And there's a couple of reasons why I am a very big advocate of being prepared. And the first reason is because the government is not going to take care of you. All right. If anything happens where the situation is, let's say, a crisis, and it's, let's say, a national crisis where the entire country is in problem, is in trouble, the government is not going to take care of you. All of these lines of people that you see getting food, they're getting them at food banks, right, that are community run. The government isn't doling out the food, right? It's the community that's taking care of each other. But the better prepared we are, and the more of us that are prepared, the better that it is for you and me. Because the less people that are going to be asking you for something, and you're going to be able to take care of your family, right? So the first reason is that government's not going to take care of you. And all you have to do is, anyone that has a family, all you have to do is take a look at your kids. And imagine if you, as the provider of your household, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. Whoever brings in, whoever brings home the bacon, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you lose your job. Imagine the situation we're in now. Look at your kids and not know where your next meal is going to come from. You know, if you look at your kid and you want to make sure that your child is always going to be fed, it's always going to be taken care of, that you and your family's standard of living doesn't have to dwindle to next to nothing just because you're in the middle of a crisis, then you want to be prepared. You want to have those things that you want or that you need to have in order to sustain the same standard of living that you had yesterday in case something happens today or tomorrow where you're not able to get those things that you're used to getting in order to sustain a normal standard of living, right? It's not preparing for the end of the world. I tell people that if I were preparing for the end of the world, I wouldn't be preparing. I'd be partying it up, right? So why would you be preparing for the end of the world? You know, because the word prepper has gotten like a bad name over the years because of, you know, Hollywood and the mainstream media and such. You know, they call us fear mongers. They call us hoarders. But you want to make sure that you can take care of your family. The second reason is, and it's just as important in my opinion, is that when you are prepared, you don't have to fall in the trap of giving up your sovereignty, of giving up your freedom, because someone else has something that you need. So imagine if you go 2 weeks without eating and you don't know where you're going to get your next meal, and someone's like, hey, here's a loaf of bread. You would probably do something for that loaf of bread that 2 weeks prior you would not have done just because you're desperate. So when you're prepared and a crisis occurs, you can keep control over your own actions instead of handing your control over to someone else. And that's what I try to relay to people. That's the main reason I prepare, is because I know that if something terrible happens, a major crisis happens, the government's not going to take care of me, number one. And I want to make sure I take care of my family, number two. And I want to make sure that I can sustain some kind of control over my own life, that I don't give my will to someone else just because I don't have something that I need and I didn't have the forethought to gather those items ahead of time. So I hope that answered your question, Cliff.
Oh, it was awesome. That's an awesome answer. I wish I wrote it down. Unfortunately, we haven't filmed a video now. So, yeah, I think the more preppers that we have in the world, the better the world is. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who you vote for, what your religion is or anything. Nope. If you're a prepper, you're going to be less of a kind of a burden on the grid when there's emergency situations. And then we could better distribute, you know, attention towards people that are in need and stuff. So I'd like to see more preppers worldwide. It's not just a American thing, and it's not just a tactical thing or anything like that. So I'm totally aligned with you on that one. I think it's and I think that you have a really good way of really vocalizing it and kind of being evangelizing the whole idea of preparedness, practical preparedness, because really it seems like it should be something that, like having car insurance, it should be something that everyone does. And I know that our grandparents were they never called it preppers, but they were all preppers. They were better prepared for stuff, and we've really lost that as a society, which is a shame. So thanks to you, you're helping bring more people into this just being a common thing to do. Thanks for everyone in the chat room. Everyone seems to be
each one repeat. That's what it's all about, Bonnie. That's what it's all about.
Totally, love it. So we have a bunch of questions here. I'm going to do my best to try to get to all the questions that we're going to ask Alaska Prepper. But if I miss one of them, just try to give me a reminder, and I'll try my best to keep an eye on it. Sometimes it's hard when the chat room stuff's all going super fast like that. One of the things on your channel that I've really liked, let me see if I get the channel up here really quick, is that a lot of prepper channels, it seems like they gravitate towards a lot of EDC or gear or tactical stuff. That's usually a common thing, for at least earlier on with the prepping channel. With yours, like if I'm looking at it right now, there's a lot of stuff with relation to food and pantry type items. Like it seems like, I mean, you definitely put up more of an emphasis on that than like on some of the things that might be more, I guess, trendy. Is that also part of like the overall mission of the channel that you have?
Well, the way I see it is that I want to get people to start prepping. I want to get preppers that are prepping to continue to prep and teach other people how to prep. Reach one, teach one, repeat. And the way I see food is everyone needs to eat and drink. Yep. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to eat and you have to drink. So it's something that's relatable to everyone. So it's a way of telling you, no matter who you are, hey, you're welcome here, because I know that these are the things that we need to do in order to live. We all need to drink and eat, right? So,
Yep.
hopefully that message gets someone through the door. And then once they get through the door and they get to know our community, they decide to stay with us because it's a great community at that, and then really what I do, the way I do my videos is not really planned ahead very long. I don't like plan 2 weeks from now what I'm going to be doing. I just do videos on things that I'm going to do anyways, and that I think would benefit someone who's prepping. So if I'm going to open up a jar of chicken that I canned 5 years ago to make something, I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and make a video on that. Somebody might be looking for, a little motivation to actually grab one of their jars and cook something with it instead of looking at it in their pantry, and thinking that it's nice to look at. I'm a big proponent of people actually using what they prep, because if you don't use it, especially food, if you don't use it or try it, you're not going to know whether you like it or not until it's too late. And you don't want to get stuck in a stressful situation in the middle of a crisis, having to eat something that you don't like to eat. That's just going to be added stress onto the situation itself.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I never started a YouTube channel to like have people watch videos or to do gear type stuff. It was because I wanted to prepare for my family. I had a newborn child, and it freaked me out a little bit that this child is dependent on me for everything, for food, for water, for shelter, for protection. And I didn't feel like I was prepared for that. And so that's how I got into, but the problem with prepping I found is that there wasn't a lot of people locally that really wanted to talk about it. They didn't want to talk about number 10 cans, or they didn't want to talk about what mill Mylar bag I should use. But there is an audience on YouTube, and I was it's really blessed to find out there's a wide audience on YouTube that is experts in all sorts of different areas of prepping, as whether it be canning, or as ham radio operators, or tactical people, or knife guys. And so it's just really cool that there's a humongous community here, and there's it's not only just a kind of a military thing, but it's practical people, family people that are trying to be a little bit more prepared for the unexpected. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's for zombies, but it could be for a flat tire or losing your job or something like that. So I'm getting all sorts of great comments already in the chat room. I'm trying my best, guys, to not only talk to Alaska Prepper, but also to keep an eye on what's going on in the chat room too. So we're going to get to some of the questions first. I was hoping that we could kind of start off with, or maybe I should just, before I get too backlogged, I want to just go. How about we do some rapid fire questions that have already been asked now? So, I know Denise Drake was already first in line, and I think that she has one on the meat canning, the canned meat, and you have a lot of videos on your channel with regard to canned meat. You're probably the foremost prepper for meat canning currently on YouTube today, and I've seen you do the Kirkland the sausages or the bratwurst and all sorts of different things. So, what's your favorite quick meals for canned meat?
For a very quick meal with canned beef, I love canned beef. All right. For a very quick meal, if you have an Instapot, okay, you can also do it over the stove, but it may take a little longer. If you have an Instapot, my favorite meal is throw some potatoes in there, some celery, some onions, some, your canned beef, throw in a quart of beef broth, lock it up, put it on stew. 40 minutes later, you're going to have a meal. When you open it, take a little bit of that broth, mix it in with a little bit of cornstarch, put it back in there for 5 minutes. You're going to have an awesome beef stew. Very easy. I think I actually did a video making that meal. Very easy to do, quick and easy, really good for you. There's really nothing in there that's bad for you. And surprisingly, I don't add any salts or seasoning to that, and it comes out really good. So for a real quick meal, if you have an Instapot, you can do it really quick that way. If not, you can also do it over the stove. You just have to have a little more care to it, watch it a little more than if you did an Instapot. But yeah, and that meal you can make with anything. You can make with turkey, you can make with chicken, so you can make it pretty much with anything. It doesn't have to be beef if you don't eat beef. Yeah, so that's one of my easiest, quickest meals that you can make, and it's very tasty and good for you.
Yeah, the meat canning. Denise, who's had this chat, was recently came on the live stream a couple weeks back, and we just talked all about meat canning, and we're referencing your videos as well too. So meat canning is definitely going to be my Q1 of 2021 item that I'm trying to do. It's been hard for us to find the jars and the lids lately. It seems to be a shortage of lids, I guess.
Well, I was prepping up on jars and lids for the last year and a half or two, so I'm pretty stocked up on those.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that live stream with Denise. I recognize her now that you mentioned the live stream.
Oh, cool.
She was the one that was sitting and she was showing you jars of
yeah.
that she did. Yeah, I remember watching that.
Yeah, cool.
But when you do your first canning of like beef or chicken, whatever it may be, you're gonna find out that it's a lot easier than the other things. So
cool.
if you've ever done any water bathing, like making jellies and stuff.
Yeah, we make jellies and pickles. Yeah,
you're gonna find that pressure canning meats is a lot easier than actually doing that stuff. You don't have to be as sanitary with meat when you're pressure canning it because you're pressure canning it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're water bathing like jellies and things like that, you have to be very sanitary because you're not pressure canning it. So you have to be as clean as possible. I try to use only like stainless steel whenever I'm doing jellies and things like that. And I always make sure that all of my utensils, my jars are clean. I put them in the oven. It's a longer process, in my opinion, to make jellies as far as the sanitation process than it is canning meats. Canning meats, you get your jars, you rinse them out, you wash them, rinse them out. You don't even have to let them dry. You take your meat, you stuff it in there, put your lid on, throw it in, and put your ring on, throw it in the pressure canner, make sure it's got enough water, you're done. But, making jellies and things, it's more of a process than doing meat. So once you do it, Cliff, you're going to love it, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's easy. It's easy.
One of the questions I have that I've always wanted to know is how many jars of meat does Alaska Prepper have? So
I have no idea.
Do you have a number? Are we talking the hundreds or thousands?
No, probably hundreds. Probably hundreds because I have a lot of canned, store-bought canned meats as well. Like we were talking before the live stream started, I try to do what makes sense to me. So I really enjoy the process of canning. I really enjoy it. It's just like making bread. I love to make bread. I say often that whenever I'm doing that kind of work, it brings me inner peace. However, I only do it if it makes sense. So if I see that canned chicken is on sale and I can actually get it less expensive than what it would cost me to do it myself, I'm going to get the canned chicken. If I go to the store one day and I see that chicken breast is on sale for $1.69 or whatever it is, and I'm like, wow, I can make this a lot cheaper than the canned chicken that I buy. I'm going to go ahead and get that, and I'm going to pressure can it. So I do what makes sense financially, and you also have to consider the time that you're going to dedicate to actually doing it. So if I can get it cheaper by buying it, I will. If I can get it cheaper by making it myself, I will. However, I will have to say, to be honest, that when you pressure can your own meats, the quality is by far much better than the stuff that you buy at the store. Yeah. So you have to take that into consideration as well. As far as taste, texture, the quality is much better than the stuff you buy at the store.
Awesome. Yeah. What was I going to say? I was going back to what we were talking about earlier as far as everyone needs to eat, everyone needs to drink. And so you put a lot of emphasis towards that on the prepping channel. And you definitely see that a lot with a lot of the videos now. Like when I do videos, I could do a video on a EDC setup or some kind of elaborate thing. And that's really only the certain intermediate to advanced preppers are into that, but everyone needs to eat. And it's so, for me, when I go over to Costco and film it, and then that seems to be the thing that kind of resonates with people. So I think the pantry preps and water preps is a great kind of like a gateway drug into prepping for the average person. Yeah. And one of the things that I used to struggle with, and now thanks to people like you and Denise for the meat canning, I was always struggling on getting proteins in my in my pantry preps, and I was trying to do the Mountain House ones, which were like $50. I'm like, man, this is too expensive. But yeah, I should really be just having a big stockpile of pint-sized jars and the pressure canner. And when I see meat on sale, I put it, pressurize it, and they're good to go. So I see a comment over here. This is from Stephanie Freeman. Every time I ask you one of your prepper questions, I never get an answer. What's up with that? Well, Stephanie, congratulations. I saw the chat on this one. And so I'm going to keep an eye out for what your question was. And we're going to get to it. I promise that we'll get to it. So in the chat room, keep an eye out for Stephanie's question. We're going to get to that one, definitely. So you had a recent video. Let me see if I can bring that up again. So there we go. One of your, I think it was probably your last video where you kind of gave me the heads up on water prices are about to jump up. I think it's this video over here, breaking.
Yeah, they're coming for our water, something like that.
And it was like I didn't know about that until I heard it from you. I was hoping that we could talk a little bit about kind of water preps, because it sounded like I don't know if you've seen the movie Total Recall, where they're starting to charge for air, and it kind of felt like it's trending that way. So can you kind of summarize at least what's covered in the video, and I'll make sure people get a link to that video as well.
So, I heard about this here a while back. Actually, I think probably about a year ago or so, that people, well, not people, like higher ups, elitist types, right? That they were starting to consider putting a price on water to trade it in the stock market. And I heard about it a while back, and I didn't think about it anymore. One of my community members actually sent me an email saying that his wife is involved in the stock market and that they're going to start trading water in the stock market. And what's going to happen is that the price of water that comes out of your faucet, in my opinion, is going to go up by multiples, because what they're trading in the stock market is not actual water. It's just a representation of water on paper. However, if you look at any other commodities that they've done that with, whenever they do that, the price of that commodity goes up, and whoever's trading that, whoever can trade the most of it, so they call them whales, in the stock market or even in cryptocurrencies. If you have the ability to move the market because you have so much of that stock or that cryptocurrency, they call you a whale because you have so much of it. So if you get a whale that has a large amount of those, I think they're going to trade them via ETFs, exchange traded funds. I believe that's what it is. I always forget the name of what an ETF stands for. But if you have someone that's got enough of those, they can actually influence the market. So whatever the market sets the price of water at is what you're going to end up paying out of your tap. So someone's pretty much going to have control over how much your water is going to cost, instead of water just being something that you pay for the transportation of that water. See, a lot of people, I think, are misinformed to the fact that when you pay for water that's coming out of your tap, you're not paying for the water. The water's free. What you're paying for is the service of getting that water clean, all right, sanitizing it, pumping it through the pipes, and keeping enough pressure on the system to get it out your tap. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the service of that utility being brought to you. The water is free, but now they're going to start pricing water at the stock market, which tells me that the price of water is going to be controlled by someone. Now there's actually going to be a price on water, which is one of those elements that obviously is vital to life, and someone's going to have control over that. Yeah, so that's what I see happening with it.
Yeah, I never liked the whole thing where it's like illegal to store rainwater, like if it rains. That doesn't make sense to me. But that's super concerning. And I when I saw that video, I didn't like what I heard, but it made me just kind of up in the priority the water preps. We have pretty good water preps, but I guess I need to go a little bit more on it if that's what's looking like it's happening. Looks like we got Stephanie's question here, so let's see. Stephanie has not had her question answered. So, well, I asked you a question many times and never got no answer. What's best to use for lighting fuel? Are candles or both? And which one should I stockpile? Well, Alaska Prepper.
So which is best for lighting, fuel or candles or both? And which is best? Sure. I would say that it depends where you live, because what I would say for me, what's best for lighting is making sure that you have a very good stockpile of batteries.
Yeah.
And a good amount of flashlights / lanterns. And if you live in an area where you get a lot of sun during the day, then a candle or lantern really wouldn't make too much sense. And I'll cover why it wouldn't make too much sense here in a second. I would go with a small solar panel with a small battery backup that can light up several LED lights that will light up your home. LED lights don't take very much energy at all. And I mean, if you have a small solar panel with a small battery attached to it, and then just a cheap inverter, you could power LED lights to power your house pretty much indefinitely if you have a few hours of sun every day. Now, the reason I say that I would think that that option is a better option than fuel or candles is because people may not realize how dangerous candles and fuel lanterns are. In the olden days, I'll call it the olden days, back when our forefathers, ancestors used to have to light their houses with candles and fuel lanterns, there used to be a lot of fires. And what I would think is that if we had to revert to candles and fuel lighting today, there will be even more fires because people have to train themselves that if you have a candle lit in a room, if you go to another room, you need to take that candle with you. What if you have a pet? What if you have a cat? What if you have a child? What if there's a tremor and that candle falls? I heard somewhere that fire doubles in area about every 22 seconds, I think. So if you go to the bathroom for a minute, you come back, your entire living room could be on fire. So my first option for lighting would be to use, powered, lighting that's powered with batteries or solar panel or something like that. Now, if I had my choice between fuel or candles, I would use candles because candles are not as volatile as fuel. So less chance that they're going to catch on fire if they tip over or something. If you have fuel stored somewhere and you don't have a dedicated fuel storage area and your fuel tips over, it can catch on fire a lot easier than if you have a few boxes of candles and they tip over. They're not going to catch on fire. They're just wax with a wick in it until you actually light them. So if I had to pick between fuel or candles, that's all I had for lighting, I would choose candles and just make sure that you are extremely safe with those open lit, ways of lighting your area, because that's very dangerous. People look at a candle and they think, they don't think anything of it. But one small candle can pretty much destroy everything that you have if you're not very careful. So I hope that answered your question,
Stephanie. We got the answer for it. That's the official answer, Stephanie. We're going candles. I agree with that. We don't have that many we have like the tea light candles, a lot of those, but yeah, you hear a lot of stories about people burning their house down with candles. I really like the idea. Careful. The people that they have like those outdoor lawn LED lights that are solar panel and they charge up, and so they charge them during the day. It's a good lawn decoration, and then they could bring them in for an emergency for that kind of thing. I always thought that was cool, and the LED ones you could charge it with something like an anchor battery or something like that, and have illumination for a long time.
Don't get me wrong, Stephanie. I have a mess load of candles. I have a bunch of them. Okay, and I also have not as much fuel for lighting as I do candles, but I do have a little bit of that as well. I like to be diversified in everything.
Yeah.
So only because I say that I prefer, electric lighting over candles doesn't mean that I don't have candles. I do, because, who knows how long something can last, so there may come a time where maybe I'll run out of batteries and I'll have to use my candles. And that's why I have them, but they're just not my preferred method of lighting.
Yeah. It looks like I'm looking in the chat room. They're saying have a diversified portfolio of illumination type things. And
sure, yeah.
Southern Boy Prepper, 2 favorite preppers in the same room. Yes, we got it done. So
hey, Southern Boy Prepper, how you doing, brother?
I'm gonna do some quick little shout outs over here. This is kind of a funny shot over here. Where to get the canned beef? Let's see. We talked a little bit about canned beef already. We're gonna have to watch the rerun on that one. This one I have to just ask it. This is from Sean, Alaska Prepper. Have you ever heard any good stories about Bigfoot? That's the pressing question we all want to know.
I have never heard any good stories about Bigfoot. Probably the same stories that you've heard.
That is funny.
I haven't seen Bigfoot up here, so
yeah,
it wouldn't be Bigfoot up here. What's the name of that snow monster? I forget. It would be that.
Well, there's.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the abdominal or something like that. Abominable snowman or something.
Like the Yeti, is that what it is? Wait, no, I'm spacing on the official name on it. Susie Q, we are a great. That's right, Susie Q. We are a great community. Let's see if we're having a lot of people talking about the grocery stores. Let's see. That's another one for Stephanie's question with regard to different situations for both. A lot of people love the can meet. I'm going to try to do one more. I have some more questions for you, but I'm going to try to make sure I get to some of these chat rooms one too. That meat canning scares me. It used to scare me too, but now I have more peace of mind on it.
It's very easy to do. What is that? Myrie Park? Myrie, if you do it one time and make sure that you try it after you pressure can it, if you try it with beef if you eat beef. If you do it once and you try it, you're going to continue to do it because you're going to really enjoy the quality of the meat once it's pressure canned. I think that pressure canned beef is better than freshly cooked beef as far as the quality of the taste. And whenever I pressure can beef, I don't put anything in it except for like a half a teaspoon of sea salt. That is it. And when it comes out of that jar, just with a half a teaspoon of sea salt, it tastes really great. I'm actually excited for you, Cliff, that you said you're going to do it because I can't wait for you to try it.
I'm going all in on it. So this is one from Mark Chase. This is AP. Your family being from the Dominican Republic, is that
Dominican Republic? Yeah.
What is your favorite Caribbean style dish?
Oh, come on, man! All of them. I've cooked several Dominican style dishes, on my videos, but I have to say that my very favorite is going to be sancocho, and it's a Dominican stew, and I usually only make it once a year, and that's for Little Miss Alaska Prepper's birthday. And the reason I make it once a year, sometimes twice, but usually only once. The reason I make it once a year is because I love it so much that I don't want it to become a regular thing that we eat. I wanted to keep it special. Meaning. Yeah. So sancocho is my very favorite. Of course, it has to have white rice. But I enjoy to eat any kind of Dominican food. I enjoy. I love Dominican food and Spanish food in particular.
Yeah, I think when we were talking over the phone, I think last week, because I'm half Puerto Rican, even though some people don't know that. I think, and you were saying that you were talking to someone, and they were like, "Oh, isn't that Puerto Rican prepper?"
yeah. and I was like, "The urban prepper's Puerto Rican?" He's like, "Yeah." That's why I asked you about it.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I had to tell everyone. I'm like, "Hey, I was talking to Alaska prepper, and his friend was asking about that Puerto Rican prepper. They was talking about me." So, from my father's side, they came from Puerto Rico, from Mayagüez, and I love cooking that kind of cuisine, and I like the arroz con gandules, like the Puerto Rican rice.
Oh my goodness, that's one of my favorites too. Hey, I've got like a 2-year supply of gandules.
A 2-year supply of gandules. Oh, that's nice.
I have to have my gandules, man. I have to have that stuff. I need it as part of my life.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of gandules, but for us, it was kind of. When we go to my grandma's house, she always had, we call it just Puerto Rican rice is what we'd call it, but she always had the arroz con gandules on the stove, and I have a good stash of it. But I've been wanting to grow it because I know there's a Puerto Rican restaurant that's local, and they kind of grow their own gandules. I've been kind of thinking about doing that.
Well, if you buy, Amazon sells, I'm not sure if they're available in any stores near you there, but Amazon sells them dry by the bag.
Ooh.
Yeah, and if you buy them,
you could do it in the Mylar bags with the 5-gallon buckets. Then
yes, I did that. I bought enough dry to last me a couple of years, and then I bought enough in cans to last me about 1 year.
What's 1 year? What's 1 year can of gandules? Like, how many cans do you need for 1 year supply?
For me, 24 cans, because we only have it like once a month, and I use 2 cans.
Yeah.
So for me, 24 cans of gandules is enough for 1 year. Because we go through about 2 cans a month. That's another one of those things that I don't like to have all the time. Because it's one of my very favorite dishes as well.
Yeah, I probably have about 24 cans, but for me, we use it a little bit more frequently because it's one of the dishes that our kids always like eating, and we have. They've always liked it, and we have pasteles in the fridge and stuff like that. I don't know if you've had those. But,
awesome. Well, you can take the dry gandules. You can take them and and throw them in the pressure canner.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to do was yeah, I wanted to do the meat cannon because we make the gandules with arroz con gandules, and we have pork in it. We have diced pork in it, but I didn't have a good way of doing pork, and so I didn't want to put Spam or something in it or the Vienna sausages. But I wanted to have like real pork, and so now with the meat canning, I'm going to have enough pork for the gandules that I have. But now it looks like
nice.
I'm going to have to do a Mylar project with the gandules. So. Again, thanks everyone. If you're just tuning in now, if you're just tuning in live, we're talking to Alaska Prepper. Awesome YouTube channel. There's a bunch of different questions that are coming in. I'm going to get to those as much as I can. But I have Alaska Prepper's link is in the description box below. A lot of great videos on all sorts of different topics that are in regards to emergency preparedness. As a very popular stream, you're kind of a natural streamer. I'm pretty jealous of it actually because it's just very inviting to people and so a lot of thank you everyone for the great comments here. This is gonna be fun. I apologize ahead of time for missing any chat room. So, but we'll get you eventually, even if it takes a couple streams later. So, let's see. This is from appreciate both of these gentlemen and the knowledge they bring. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. Do it easy. Yeah, a lot of great things. Yeah, people talking a lot about canning already. That's so cool because it seems like back in the day on YouTube we were all talking about EDC and knives and tactical stuff and zombies. Now we're talking. There's a lot of talk about canned meat, canned food, and just kind of the food prep. So that's definitely seems like the person. Looks like we have some Puerto Rican people in the audience too. So Puerto Rican preppers paradise. That's awesome. I had some questions too that I wanted to get to. One of the things I like on your channel is that, I mean, from Alaska Prepper, like as the name calls it, you cover a lot of good like winter preparedness type stuff. And for me, winter's coming in Washington. It doesn't snow that much over here, but what are your general recommendations for people that are just now? It's probably snowing outside where you live right now, I imagine. But
yeah, it actually is a little bit.
So, what are some of the things that you'd recommend, or maybe some videos that you've done in the past on the top recommendations for winter preps for the average person?
Well, I am not a survivalist. Okay, so I think a lot of people confuse survivalists with preppers. Nothing wrong with being a survivalist. I think that having those skills are great. A prepper is someone that has the supplies and some skills that are needed in order to make it from point A to point B of a crisis. Right? If there's a crisis that's ongoing and you can make it from A to B and make it to the other side of that crisis, you did a good job as being a prepper. Right? That's what it's for. At least that's my opinion. Okay, some people may disagree. So for winter, I concentrate on preps that I do, for winter time. So I don't really go out of my way to try to make a video for something that I don't do, that I'm not interested in, just to make a video. So it's like I'm not sure if I said this during the live stream or if I said it before we started, the live stream today. But what I do when I put up a video is, if I'm going to do something that has to do with prepping, and I think that it would be interesting and that it would be helpful to my community members, then I'll do a video about it. Because I'm going to do it anyways. I might as well put it up and I'll show people what I'm doing. So the things that I have on my videos are things that I actually do and things that I actually have. So over here for winter preparedness, the most important thing is, for me, is having backups to my heating system and then backups to my backups. So for example, I have a heating unit here that heats my house. It's called a Toyo stove, and it runs on fuel oil, and it also requires electricity. So I usually keep about a 2-year supply of fuel oil. That way, if something happens to the supply lines, I know that I'm going to be covered for my fuel oil for a couple of years. However, it actually, the unit needs electricity in order to run, the igniter and the fan and the computer motherboard, right? So it needs electricity. So I have a whole bunch of backups to electricity, just in case we lose power. I can at least keep my heat going. In addition to that, I also have a backup heating system that I have professionally installed. That's a direct vent heater that uses propane, but it doesn't require any electricity. So I have a backup to my main house heater, and I have enough propane to heat my house for about a full year. So,
Nice.
and then on top of that, I have another backup heater that I keep out in a shed that I can actually bring inside the house, and it runs on propane. And I have enough propane tanks to run that for a full winter also. Last case scenario, if the poops really hit the fan and we lost electricity and we're not going to get electricity for a really long time, and I've exhausted all of my backups, I have a small wood stove that I can install in my house. Probably take me about 4 hours to install it, any time of the year, that would actually heat my entire house. So, that's my main concern during the wintertime is my heat, because we need heat up here. It's not like it gets, well, you know how it is. If
Yeah.
it's -30, -40 outside, you need heat. There's not enough insulation in any home to be able to get away with that kind of harsh environment in the wintertime. And then there's just other basic things that any other person would require for a winter prep. Make sure that your vehicle has those things that you need to build a fire. Make sure that you have what I have is called a get home bag. I don't have a bug out bag in my vehicle. I have a get home bag in my vehicle, and I have things in there that you can start fires with. I have water filtration, mini Sawyers in there. I have 3 days supply of food in there. I have blankets in there. I have flares. I have knives. It's just pretty much anything that makes sense. I try to relate to people that it's not rocket science. It's just what makes sense to you to have in your vehicle in case you get stuck overnight somewhere and it's going to be cold. A lot of people may not know this, but I went through a winter survival class when I was in the Army. And what we were taught is that a tea light or a tea light candle will bring the temperature of the inside of your vehicle up by about 10 degrees. All you have to do is make sure that you crack the window a very small amount to make sure that, any kind of carbon gets out. But I keep a tea light candle in my vehicle. I mean, 10 degrees is a really big deal, especially if you're getting close to the freezing point, because you know that in order to get frostbite, the temperature has to be below 32 degrees or 32 degrees and below. If the temperature is 33 degrees, the ambient temperature, you're not going to get frostbite. You might get hypothermia, and you might get extremely cold to where you can move, but you can't get frostbite if it's above 32 degrees, because frostbite is when your flesh is actually freezing. So let's say, for example, you get stuck somewhere and it's 28 degrees outside and you don't have any way of heating your vehicle. You can get frostbite. A tea light candle can save you from getting frostbite. But ladies and gentlemen, remember this. This guy right here doesn't know everything. So you have to do your own research. I like to encourage people to do their own research. Take what I'm saying right now really with a grain of salt, because the decisions that you make, no matter where you get your information from, it's going to affect you. So if you take everyone's word that you listen to anywhere, be it on YouTube, be it in the news, anywhere, if you take their word for it, you're the one that's going to pay the price if you didn't research it and didn't find out that what they said may be wrong. I have never, and I will never claim to be an expert in anything, because things always change and things are different for everyone. So what I like to tell people is just use your common sense. Take a look around. What is it that you think you may need? Put yourself in that situation for 10 minutes and say, okay, this is what I'm going to need. But, there's some things that are not very common in every state in the U.S., like in the lower 48. Like up here, we have our vehicles, what's called winterization. And what that is you take it to a shop, or you could do it yourself. They put in a heater plug into your engine core, and they also put a heat pad or a plug into your transmission. And they put a heat pad under your battery, or they put a trickle charger in it, and you actually plug in your vehicle to a 110 outlet that's usually outside every home here in Alaska. That way, when the temperatures get below like 20 degrees, you plug them in, and what happens is it keeps your engines and your engine, your transmission, your battery, keeps them warm. That way, when you go to start them, it doesn't damage your engine or it doesn't damage your transmission. So
Wow, I've
that's one
never
of
heard of
those
that before.
things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's not common. And of course, winter tires, things like that. But there's really not a lot to prep for winter-wise here, than any other normal winter anywhere else where it snows and it gets cold. It's just here is a little bit more harsh than most other states. But there's some states where I'm like, wow, you guys get more snow than we do. I think upstate New York, near Fort Drum, I think they get more snow than we do on an annual basis, to tell you the truth, which is fine with me. They can keep the snow.
Wow, that was awesome. I'm going to rewatch that whole part of the live stream just for my winter prep storage. Man, there's so many different things. I'm trying to remember the talking points on it. I mean, the overall consensus is that, redundancy and backup plan for these kind of things, and practical preparedness measures for the things that most people would think that we would need to have prepared.
I believe in redundancy. I mean, I believe it. Like, let me count just off the top of my head. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6. I've got 5 backups to my main heating system.
Wow.
I've got literally 5 backups. So there would have to be a lot of failures for us to be down and out. There would have to be a lot of failures. So I'm not telling you to go out there and get 5 backups. Usually 3 is good, but I like more.
Well, if you live in Alaska, I mean, that's going to be important, it seems like. So, and if if you live in the desert, then you probably want to have water backups and backups to that and backups to that. So I think it kind of depends regionally as well. And the other thing that you stated that you liked, as far as you kind of have to learn, don't trust, even myself or yourself, don't trust our word blindly. You have to kind of do the research yourself. And I think anyone that's a parent that has a kid, sometimes you can tell your kid over and over, hey, do this. And sometimes they have to learn for themselves. And and then see, I told you.
Failure is not always bad. Failure is a very good teacher.
Awesome. Trying to get to some of these chats. I think I'm already backlogged. There was a lot of people talking about so there's some Puerto Rican fans in the audience, which is cool. And the cuisine. I do a couple of thank you so much, Urban Survivor, for the super chat. Thank you. Great show, Urban Prepper. You are the original inspiration for my channel. Keep up the excellent work, inspiring, educating people. That's awesome. Thank you. We got to get you on live stream. Yeah. So I think you just bought your way in a live stream with that. So thank you so much. Let's see. I'm trying to get to some of the general comments. Still a lot of people talking about canning. So canning is a super popular topic in this chat room over here. I want to make sure I get to this other.
Well, I see a lot of my community members out there. So hello, everyone.
Yeah,
I see my little brother out there. I see my little brother Grim Survival out there too.
You said Grim Survival? There we go. Grim Survival, little brother. There we go. Welcome to the live stream. Again, it's hard to get all
these. It's his birthday today. Hey, say happy birthday to Grim Survival, everyone.
Happy birthday. Yeah, give him a shout out. Grim. Yeah, happy birthday. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome all the guests from the Alaska Prepper channel. This is hopefully you like some of the stuff over here. This is a real treat for me to be able to talk with you, and I'm super excited. I'm trying my best to get to everything that's over here. Thank you, One Wild Indian, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Let's see. There's some, let's see, any kind of, I'm just going to try to grab random questions. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. I'll try to get to them. If I don't get to them live on the live stream, if it's a question that I can answer, I'll try to get it in the chat room, or in the comment section. So you could leave a comment if you're watching the rerun, or if we didn't happen to get to it, and I'll see how many that we could answer. I'm just going to pick a couple really quick. Let's see. This is kind of I don't know if it's a question, but it's a good point. Why don't they teach our kids simple, basic survival skills in school? Instead, they're made to regurgitate useless facts. I agree. I think a lot of survival skills.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, Colleen, how many flashlights do you have?
I have no idea.
How many times do I breathe a day? I don't.
I know it's a lot. My wife thinks I have a problem.
Yeah. There's a lot in the preparedness community. There's a lot of people that are into guns and knives. I'm into flashlights and battery power banks and stuff.
Oh, I love flashlights. I actually have a new flashlight that I got sent right through to review. So I'm going to wait to review it, though, till after the first of the year.
There we go. Now, what's the model on that one?
This one is, what is it? Wait a minute. It's the BSS V4. It's very nice. It's very nice.
Well, I think it's time in the live stream. This is kind of a tradition that we've been doing over here, where it's kind of in the preparedness community, oftentimes we'll do EDC checks on each other. So we're curious. We're going to do an EDC check of Alaska Prepper. We already know you have a through night flashlight on you. What else, other kind of cool prepping gear do you have on you for a live stream?
Well, right now I'm in my pajamas, so I don't have very much on me right now.
Or it could be on the desk around you. Who knows?
Well, my boomstick is about 6 feet away from me. I mean, I can get up and show it to you, but I don't want to demonetize your video.
Yeah, nowadays.
Let's see. I've got my my everyday silver carry.
There we go.
This is my pocket coin. I don't know. No, I mean, I usually keep just about all of my EDC. I keep in the wintertime. I keep in my coat pockets.
Yeah.
So I got my zero tolerance knife in there. I keep my EDC pea shooter in my pocket, in my right pocket in my coat. You know, I keep a small flashlight on my coat's zipper, and then I have a flashlight on my keychain. I keep a red Swiss Army knife in my pocket besides my my zero tolerance knife. Yeah. What else do I have? I mean, I have pens. I've got chapstick. I've got lighters that are in my pocket. I've got a whole bunch of stuff.
I like how many lights you have. I think that's awesome because I like the lights too. And I always have some kind of pocket knife or something. I did a stream a couple weeks back where I took out this one Rambo knife and I accidentally cut my finger live on the live stream and had.
Oh, really?
And YouTube just like they demonetized it. They
really? Oh, no.
It wasn't suitable for all advertisers, so they had to take it down. But it was an accident, YouTube. I didn't mean to do it. I wasn't trying to get views. Let's see, man, this time's been flying by. Thanks everyone for coming into this live stream. If you're watching it live, we're talking with Alaska Prepper right now. Has an awesome YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not already if you're part of my audience, and you should know Alaska Prepper, but if you don't, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. A moment of silence to click the link. All right, there you go. You click the link. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. Awesome videos. A lot of, as you can see, Alaska Prepper is pretty awesome. So instantly likable, awesome. You can also support him over on the Patreon channel, 312 patrons, which is great. You could also even buy a coffee for Alaska Prepper. So all those links are available for that. So I think we have time for a few more questions, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. Although I think you're an hour behind me, so I think it's a little early.
Listen, I'm having a great time, man. I'm on your time. However long you want to stay on, I'm good.
All right, cool. Well, I feel like I'm backlogged on the chat room again. Oh, it says, who gave this a thumbs down? No, who did that? So this is awesome. So how about we're going to need everyone that's watching this live right now. Give this a thumbs up, smash that like button. And if you like these type of videos, you can subscribe to the channel.
You're lucky Victor's not here.
Yeah, Victor.
Because if Victor was here, you'd have like 50 thumbs down by now.
Yes, man, that's kind of rough. I heard, and you were telling me about in your last live stream that there's kind of
he took over my live stream.
Yeah, can you tell the story? And then it's the live stream that this is the 98.10 one. Is that it?
Yeah. So I have everything set up to go, and my live stream was for 3 p.m. and it was about 2:57, 2:58. I went to the bathroom. I come out and he's already he pushed the like button, and he's on the screen just taking over my channel.
Wow. Yeah, when I first saw Victor, I thought it was FPS Russia because they had it's like, oh man, Alaska Prepper has FPS Russia on the channel there. Let's see. I'm gonna try to. I'm doing my best, folks, to try to get through the chat room stuff. A lot of people seem to just overall they like this talk. Hopefully, we can talk again in the future because this is a lot of fun and it's going by a little too quickly for me. Let's see. These are just general comments. Talk about smoked meat. Okay. One wild Indian, I think, gave a super chat. So should we talk about?
I don't smoke any meat. I haven't smoked any meat, and I don't smoke any meat. Maybe in the future, when I start doing some hunting, and I don't have any room in my freezer, I'll probably end up doing that because it'll be a necessity. But I haven't done it yet. Although I do want to learn how to do that. that's an important skill as far as I'm concerned, because when there's no refrigeration available, you catch, and you hunt and you get yourself a large piece of meat, you need to be able to preserve it. So, and you may not have as many canning jars as you need to preserve a whole moose by canning it. So yeah, that's an invaluable skill that I do need to learn, but I don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah, I've never done it myself too, but I think another one I need to learn, maybe Q2 after I do the meat canning. I'm gonna that looks like that was funny. I clicked on the live notification and his face popped. That
was Victor.
AP lives with the troll.
Yeah, hey, how you doing, Kayleen?
That's hilarious. This is from Philip. I always watch Alaska Prepper. Awesome videos, and I'm a prepper now. So it looks like you made a prepper, which you've made the world a better place.
I love seeing that. I love seeing those comments.
Yeah, you can't trust that Russia. Now I don't want to get banned over here. What's going with this? We love Victor. Let's see. Trying to get man. We need to do a live with Victor. I think that would probably be a good idea. So that's maybe the next time we get. Next time we do one with
Victor if you want, Cliff.
Okay. I'm gonna just do this. How about we do some rapid fire Q&A with Alaska Prepper? We'll try to go as fast as we can because I know I'm backlogged and I know I'm not going to get to all of them. But again, this is a real treat. We're trying the best that we can. So here, let's do a rapid fire now with Alaska Prepper. Let's go. This is Kenneth. Hello, AP. What do you think about cryptocurrency? I know you like silver.
I like to diversify. I think cryptocurrencies will be in our everyday lives. If not within the next few years, definitely within this next generation, meaning the next 20, 25 years. Unfortunately, paper money is on its way out, and cryptocurrencies will be in our future. And let me say this. There's two types of cryptocurrencies. There's a decentralized cryptocurrency, and there's a centralized cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. As soon as you hear governments want to start their own cryptocurrency, that's bad, very bad. All right, a centralized cryptocurrency where someone has the power to shut off your wallet is a very bad thing. Now, if a person gets cryptocurrencies, and I'm going to use Bitcoin because it's what everyone knows. If they decide that they want to diversify into Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum or anything like that, I think it's a great thing because it's a free market speaking. However, I like to diversify. I have a little bit of cryptocurrencies, but I do like gold. I do like silver. But let me go ahead and say this. I think that the very best savings account you can have, and my community members that are here can answer this for me right now. The very best savings account you can have is your pantry. Your pantry and your preps that will allow you to maintain a good standard of living during a crisis. But for those people that are going to say you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver, I'll tell you this. What are you going to do with your excess wealth once you've bought everything that you can possibly buy and you don't have any more room to put stuff in? All right, that's why I like to preserve some of my wealth in gold and silver and a little bit of cryptos just as a backup. All right, that's just as a backup or a form of insurance.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and yeah, the pantry prep is super valuable, and it's something that we should all do, and it kind of holds its value, especially if people are hungry. So, and you could always do bartering with it as well.
Well, let me jump real quick. I know this is a speed round, but I just want people to understand this. If people can understand this, and especially if there are non-preppers in the chat right now, I love talking to people that don't prep, about this. If you leave $1 in a savings account for a year, you're going to make about 0.03% in interest. All right, so you're going to make about a penny in interest. If you're lucky, you'll make a penny in interest. If you use that $1 and find a special on corn and buy 2 cans of corn and put it in your pantry, I guarantee you that next year, those 2 cans of corn would have gained more nominal value than what your $1 did sitting in a savings account. So if you want to look at your pantry that way, if you want to look at it from a financial stance, look at it that way, where the food that you prepped from last year, today, if you were to buy it today, you're going to be paying 10, 15% more for it than you did last year, which means that you effectively gained 15% in nominal this year by keeping those. So look at it that way as well if you want to look at it that way.
I think that's a great way. That's definitely a great way of looking at it. I'm going to steal that. So tell that to other people. So that was awesome. This is how's the new pup looking? I didn't know there was a new pup, but I might have missed
Oh,
that.
don't say that too loud. She's sleeping right now. I got lucky.
Okay.
She's doing really good. She's about twice as big as she was when we first got her. Her name's Karma. Yeah, she's a really good puppy. We got really lucky. She's very smart. She's an English Shepherd. Very smart, very good little puppy. So, yeah, she's doing really well.
Awesome. Your rapid fire again. This is do you or can you cook cooked sausage patties and cooked bacon? I know people do bacon.
Okay. Can you pressure can cooked sausage?
That's what I think that was. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, you can. Yes. Yes, you can. Well, what I would do with the sausage patties, if I'm gonna pressure can already cooked sausage patties, I would make sure that I added some broth in there, because if you leave them in there, the air that's in there will probably turn them really hard and leathery. But if you add a little bit of broth in there, it'll keep them nice and soft. That way, when you take them out, you can actually put them on the grill or on the stovetop and actually cook them again to eat them up, and it'll have some texture to it. The bacon, you can definitely cook bacon and recan it in a pressure canner, and it'll come out really good. I've done bacon bits before, and they come out great. Really, really great.
Awesome. I know that they sell tactical bacon, I think is what it's called. It's like $30 for that can of it. So
you make your own.
Do our own.
Yeah, so. I remember I don't know how long ago it was, about 6 years ago, maybe. Yeah, about 6 years ago, roughly. My wife used to work for the commissary on base, and she used to work for a contractor. So she was a contractor in the commissary, and they had a policy with their company that if a food was going to be going out of date, if it was like within 2 days from its best by date, that the employees can either throw it away or they can take it home. My wife came home with like 70 pounds of bacon one day. And I was thrilled because I was able to can all week. I was canning bacon all weekend long. I ended up getting, I don't know how many quarts and pints of lard I ended up getting from that. I canned some raw bacon, raw pack method bacon.
Yeah.
I made a whole bunch of bacon bits out of it. And I'm still eating off of that today, off of all that bacon that I can. So yeah, it's easy to do it yourself, and it's a lot cheaper than buying it from a third party.
That's so that's an awesome haul that you got there. That's really cool. People are requesting a live. We'll get Victor on live. We'll get him on live on a future one, maybe early 2021. Maybe let's shoot for that. Just gonna try to get a couple. Oh man, I'm so backlogged on the chats. I'm not gonna be able to get to all of these ones. Let me do a quick little super chat. Thank you for Corporal Camouflage for the super chat. You had a couple things. I'm trying to remember exactly what I was going to ask really quick. Let's see. Oh, you just talked about it. One of the things I was going to ask you about, and I think I have a banner over here, was with regard to, you're one of the prepper channels that has, as far as alt tech sites, I know that you have a Rumble site. Is Alaska Prepper, are you going to be expanding out to other platforms as well with kind of some kind of crazy stuff going on
what I'm doing right now, I've been looking at alt sites over the past like year and a half or two, like BitChute, and I think there's one called Library.
Yep.
Or Library.
Odyssey or Library. Yeah, Library.
I actually have an account on both of those, but I just found that they're not so user friendly.
No.
I did recently go over to Rumble, and Rumble I have found that it's the most user friendly and easiest to set up than all the other ones that I've tried. So I did set up an account on Rumble. I have some videos uploaded there already. And what I'm doing is Rumble has kind of like a process where your video has to be verified or analyzed, I think it is. And it takes a while. So I'm waiting for my videos that I posted to go through the entire cycle so that I can see how it works, see if people can actually leave comments, if I can comment back, see how the background works, like on my dashboard, like how YouTube has your YouTube studio.
Yeah.
See how I want to see how everything is before I commit to using that as a backup and uploading all of my videos there. So I think what I'm going to end up doing with Rumble is using it as a backup where all of my videos are, because when we get down to the facts, YouTube, with all of the problems that it may have, that people see with it, with the, you know, the censorship and all that kind of stuff, it's still the platform that's the easiest to use and the one that reaches the most people. So if we want to get our word out there, we're going to have to try to use the platform that reaches the most people, and then just do the workaround that we have to do in order to get our word out. But if it ever did go away, then yes, it's great to know that you have another platform where your followers can still go over there and follow you. But that's the only one that I've really looked at. I've heard about Parler and we something, I forgot, We Me or Me We, something like that. I've heard about that as well. Yeah, but I haven't really gone into any of those. Rumble is pretty much the one that I think I'm going to stick with as far as a backup.
Yeah, I think it's for going back to kind of what we talked about, or what you talked about as far as the winter preps. It's kind of redundancy, backups to the backups to the backups. Library actually works pretty well because when you put a video up on your YouTube, your library sync to it, so it automatically uploads to library, which Odyssey and then which is kind of Odyssey. It's like the same libraries, from my understanding, is kind of the back end, and then Odyssey is kind of the front end service. So like, if you were to set up on one of theirs, it would, every time you populate on YouTube, which is the primary audience and the people that we want to speak with, it will automatically populate to your library Odyssey. And then the Rumble is kind of like you have to manually go and do it. But
yeah, you have to manually do it.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, I kind of, for those ones, YouTube's like our main platform, and we have the most reach over here, and this is where there's the most amount of people that aren't preppers, and we want to get them to be preppers. I imagine on Rumble there's probably a higher percentage of preppers just naturally over there, so I want to reach as many non-preppers as possible, and I imagine that you do too. So well, cool. I happened to saw that site come up there. Let's see, I think I've gone through most of the stuff that I wanted to get to. I did have a final. We're kind of wrapping up. Again, if you guys are watching this live, thank you for coming to the chat room. If this is your first time on this channel, I'd like to welcome you. I like covering various emergency preparedness topics, and we try to do them in a family-friendly way and do practical preparedness. And we don't do anything tactical, or we don't do anything very cool here, but we do stuff that's pretty nerdy and family-friendly. So if you like that kind of stuff, welcome aboard to it. Make sure that you smash that like button. And you can subscribe to the channel. If you're from my channel and you're just learning about Alaska Prepper, now we know we're missing something there. So make sure that you subscribe to Alaska Prepper and click the notification button so you get notified anytime he has a video come out. He has awesome live streams. I love the live streams, and anytime Victor makes a cameo, it's definitely a special treat as well. So I was curious, do you have any is there any shout outs that from Alaska Prepper shout outs to the audience? Is there anyone that we want to give a quick little shout out to?
Well, I haven't really been looking too much. I've been looking now and then to see if I see, but I do see a lot of our community members there. I see Jan there. Of course, Grim Survival was there. Southern Boy Prepper was there. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you very much, those of you that came over from the Alaska Prepper community. And as you can see here, Cliff here, the Urban Prepper, he has a great community as well. So as well as a good community, he's a good guy. And he's half Puerto Rican, so he can't be that bad.
I'm probably the tallest Puerto Rican currently in Washington right now.
Definitely, if to my community members out there that are here for the first time, if you guys aren't subscribed, go ahead and support the Urban Prepper by subscribing and watching his videos as well. And you guys know that I appreciate every one of you. So thank you very much for stopping in today and supporting us over here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for bringing your audience over here, and we've had a great time just talking. Man, it just really flew by. It's like I thought we were like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I see that. Well, when you're in good company, time flies, huh?
Yeah. Well, when we first talked on the phone, like we were saying, "Hey, you want to come on the live stream?" And it was just so natural, kind of talking with you. And I think we're kind of aligned very closely on a lot of strategies and stuff when it comes to prepping and a lot more of other things. Thank you, EDC TV, for the super sticker, for the super sticker and the super chat. That's awesome. We're gonna get EDC TV on the live stream too. So that'll be coming. He has a great channel. If you're he just passed 500, and then we congratulated him for passing 500, and then a lot of people went over there, and now I think he's moving his way to the 1,000 subscriber club. So That's pretty
Awesome.
exciting. So thank you, EDC TV, for that. I was just going to do a quick little commercial plug. So I guess I'm trying to do a lot I like these live streams. I think they're fun. It gives me time to work.
I love live streams. Yeah, I love doing
it gives
that.
us chances to actually talk to people and collaborate,
Yeah.
and which is what it should be all about on this. It's not just about making videos and not talking to anyone. You get that from television. On YouTube and on the video platforms, we're able to actually interact with the people that are watching it and get feedback and make improvements to our system. So I like these live streams, and it also gives me a chance to keep working on like the other videos that take a long time for me, at least for editing, and because I make PDFs and all the angles, and I want to keep having the content come out, and there's so much to talk about prepping and not enough time to do it. So I have a pretty cool December coming up for a lot of the live streams. I was just going to put some. So the next one, let's see, we have the Bladed Broad is coming on. She's a wife, mom, a competitive knife thrower. So that'll be cool. We have Sutton Stays coming on the 22nd of December, just right before Christmas. We have the three preppers. So City Prepping, myself, and Canadian Prepper will be over there. The next Tuesday is going to be the Bladed Broad. She's an awesome knife thrower, and I kind of knife throwers that wear cowboy hats are kind of preppers. We also have the Provident Prepper. So that's going to kind of wrap up the December live streams, which will be a lot of fun. And so hopefully if you guys like live streams and want to talk to any of those people, come and check them out. They should be a lot of fun. But again, Alaska Prepper, I don't want to take too much more of your time, and I have to go get dinner myself. So this has been a real treat for me. So thanks again, and hopefully we can do it again and maybe have a cameo by Victor. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that we weren't able to talk about and get to, but hopefully I'll try my best to answer stuff in the chat room or the comment section of this video. So if you're watching the rerun of this, I'll try to get to the comments as best as I can. Thank you, everyone that's been so active in the chat room. It's really cool.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm going to hop
over.
Thank
you very much for joining in, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night, and we'll see you guys. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys on Sunday. That's going to be a big day for us. We have our December Bash holiday giveaway on Sunday.
There we go.
So we're going to be having a great time on Sunday. It's Sunday's live stream.
So what time is the live stream on Sunday?
At 12 noon Alaska time.
All right,
so 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. your time.
Perfect.
So if anyone out there has not entered for the giveaway, make sure you go and enter. You have to go watch the review that I did on the last flashlight I did. I did a review on a flashlight, I don't know, about a week ago, and that is the entry video for a giveaway. And you know, it's just a way to show the appreciation for the community for everything that they've done for me. And a little giving back. So, and it's one of my favorite things to do in the year. I think we've done it every December since I've been on. So, but they've gotten a little bit bigger. So,
awesome.
So it's a lot of fun, and it's just one of the best days of the year for me when I do that. And my community is awesome. Hey, you guys know that you're awesome, all right? Those of you guys that are out there in my community members, man, Cliff, I'll tell you what. I know every YouTuber says my community is the best, but I truly love hanging out with my community members. I don't call them subscribers because to me they're not subscribers.
And they're part of the family.
We're friends. Yeah, we're friends, and we're more like a family. And at the very minimum, we're friends. So it's great. This has been a blessing for me, to tell you the truth.
This has been a lot of fun, and I hope we could do it again because it went by too quick, and there's so much more to talk about. But 2021, we'll see if we can schedule.
We'll do it in 21.
There we go. Thanks everyone that's coming from the Alaska Prepper family, aka the subscribers. Thanks for dropping aboard. Everyone that's subscribed to my channel that's here, thank you so much. I'm actually going to be hopping over to my Discord server after this to talk. I can answer any kind of questions live with you, kind of in a Zoom type call. So if you want to, I have a link in the description box there for the Discord server if you want to hop on, and I'll just be spending a couple minutes over there. But again, thanks everyone for watching this one. We've been watching Alaska Prepper. This has been a great time. And we'll see you guys next time. Make sure you go to watch the live stream on Sunday on Alaska Prepper's channel because there's going to be some giveaways. So that'll be cool. All right, see you guys next time.